Shocked. That's the best word. How I feel. Absolute shock. Following all the rules and then not achieving, the escape, if you like, from COVID. On the Friday before all these problems happened, before I left the site, I took myself a COVID fluid test, which was a negative. Went and said goodbye to everybody else. Said to I'll see you after the weekend. So I drove home from Epsom, which is where the site is at the moment, back down in Somerset. Make sure that my wife, Gillian, was okay because she just had a bit of a cold. When I got home, I came in, said hello to Jill, and had a shower, put the clothes into the washing machine, and then asked her to do a COVID test because feeling a little bit concerned about her condition. Did a test on her. The flow test said she was negative. So it was okay, no problem. Sunday, Jill wasn't feeling too good at all, and the doctor arrived around our house, came in, took one look at Jill, said, right, you're not too good. I'll come back in the morning to check you again, which he did. He checked Gillian again and then just phoned the ambulance up and asked for an ambulance to take her over to Taunton. On Tuesday, he came and checked me again and then straight away said, right, you're in hospital now as well. Scared. Basically really scared because we'd heard all the stories that people were going in there. Finally that night I'd found out that Jill was in a main ward, a ward by herself, and asked her how she was and she just could hardly talk. So towards the end of the week I ended up having a doctor come into my room and sit at the bottom of the bed. He had to explain to me that they may have to put Jill on a forced breathing for her lungs and that because they could not get her oxygen back up to the right level. You don't want that question. You do not want that question. If you ever think of the Grim Reaper sitting at the foot of a bed, that's how it felt. So anyway, the next day come in, and lucky enough, Jill had just about made enough oxygen overnight, so they didn't do it. The nurses and the doctors were absolutely spot on. The surprising thing to me was that nearly all the nurses had had COVID one way or the other, and they'd throughout the whole ward. So they knew what you were going through. Jill was on the mend, but not great. The hospital suddenly seemed to realise that actually me and Jill could talk because we both had COVID. So I was allowed to go down and see Jill for an hour and a half on one day. She looked great. She was alive. When I came round on like the Wednesday evening, I had a phone call from my eldest daughter to find out what was going on, and she was out in Brunei, which is a long way away. And she was obviously upset and said she was coming home. She had to do a 2-week confined to the house. Lucky enough it's a house, and my friends rallied around and helped her when she was here. And after about 14 days, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, I was being told that possibly I might be able to go home by that weekend. So we came home, and I basically thought, not a problem. And I told actually work that I'll be back in a week. Finally went to see my doctor, and she said, no, you're not going back for another 3 weeks. Your mind's active, your body's tired, and to get over it all, I always wanted to build a bench for my workshop. So, and I've got loads of stuff to do at home, but I need to do something totally different for me. So I built a bench, which really got me over the hump. We did absolutely everything, and the shock of seeing your wife and your children affected in different ways with this COVID. If you see it, you would not walk past an injection. What you start thinking is, you could have destroyed your family. I feel that people are in denial. I still am frightened, because I think it's a depressive thing as well as an infection. I think other people have been affected that way. So we need to get around, but you still need to take care. If there's one person out there that's saved by that injection, it is worth doing. You need to do it. That, once you get that injection, after all that experience, does give you relief. So it was a close shave. But the crux of it all is I had COVID and nearly lost everything.